Well, a good Saturday morning to everybody that has joined us on our SMART training series. This is John Dehart, your Executive Director, Sales, Marketing, Field Development with the Family Vacation Network. Happy holidays to everybody that's out there, and we're going to jump right into today's training. Folks, today we are going to be covering DMO, your daily method of operation, and this is going to be an overview of really the system. And when we talk about building the Family Vacation Network or truly any network marketing company, it really is all about duplication. You know, it's not what works, it's what duplicates. And the system is really the key component for duplication. It's what you do, it's what you teach, and simplicity is the key to duplication. So as we jump into the daily method of operation, I like to show this as a funnel because really this is your funnel, this is your pipeline, this is exactly what you need to be doing on a daily basis, and it's a really, really simple thing. I call the Family Vacation Network a contact sport because the more people you contact, the bigger your business will grow to. And you see this funnel because what we're doing is, in our business, we are in really the sifting and sorting business. You know, a lot of people think we're in the sales business. We're really not. We're looking for people who are looking, like-minded people that really want to go out and have a lot of fun vacationing and make some money. And so, and what you'll see, the reason we've got this funnel, notice it gets smaller as you get towards the bottom because you put a lot of people in the top, and as they go through this process of sifting and sorting, what pops out at the bottom really are three things, believe it or not. There's only two listed here, but there's actually three. So number one, you'll get customers, and customers say, you know what, I'm not interested in your business, but tell me about your vacation packages. Tell me about that trip that you guys are doing to Cancun, to the Hard Rock. You know, tell me about how I can get my kids to Disney, right? So you're going to get customers that pop out that funnel. You're going to get brand partners. They're going to say, you know what, the vacations look good, and I need to make some money along with it. And so what you're going to get are brand partners. And then number three, what's going to pop out the bottom of that funnel is somebody that says, you know what, I'm not interested in having any fun or making any money. And believe it or not, there are going to be some folks like that. And so, you know, have a little fun with it, and let's go through the process. And really, if you break down what we're doing, folks, it really is very, very simple. And there are a couple of extra steps in the invitation process, but really what it is, it's the invitation, the presentation, a conversation, and then asking for participation. And so many of you realize or know from a couple of our webinars, I just got back from the Eric Worre GoPro event in Las Vegas. It was fantastic, and really you've heard me train on the 7 skills that are necessary to be successful in our business. And that's the good news. There are really only 7 skills that you need to master. But when I say master, you need to be good at them, really good at them, to build a solid network marketing company, the Family Vacation Network. And so, you know, as you look at these 4 steps here, those 7 skills are incorporated into it. And the first one is we're going to make a list. Second, you've got to learn how to invite. So making a list and inviting are part of the invitation process. Then we're going to talk about the presentation and presenting with tools that other people can use. Removing yourself as the messenger, letting the tools do the work for you. So the presentation. The follow-up then is the conversation. That's the 3-way phone call. Asking for participation would be number 5. And then getting somebody off to a fast start. But 5 in what we see here, the participation is really broken into 3 different areas. So asking for participation, getting that new brand partner started correctly with their 48-hour launch, launching their business, a business strategy session, and then the final thing, number 7, is really building for events, promotion, building the company and promoting for events. And you've seen many, many companies that have just exploded because of the ability of their key brand partners, their reps, whatever it may be, their ability to promote for events. They're not just out there showing and telling, they're promoting. And so let's go ahead and walk through this. Number 1, folks, that we really want to do is in finding prospects, the question is, who do you talk to, right? And so number one is we've got to make our list. And I think the biggest mistake that most people make in our business, I know this for a fact, is that they edit their list. You know, most people getting in are going to stick their toe in the water. They're going to come up with a name of, 6 to 10 people, names that they just know are going to be great in our business, right? And the reality of it is maybe 1 or 2 of them will get started, maybe none of them, maybe all of them, who knows? But the reality is that's not enough. You know, at the end of the day, this is a numbers game, and we're talking about big numbers. So the bigger that list, and people will say, I don't know anybody. Are you kidding? How can you be 20 years old in America and not know anybody? You know, so teaching people how to pull that list out and how to make that list, from their smartphone, go into their contact list, get to their Facebooks, the old time, the old school, the Rolodex, right? Pull out if you need to, pull out the old yellow pages, right? Who do you know that's an accountant, an attorney, a barber, a baker, a candlestick maker? Who do you know? Because really all we want to do is expose them to our business. We don't have to know them, great buddies and intimate friends with these folks. This is a business. We just want to call them up and really expose them to the business, and there is a way of doing that. So number one, we've got to make the initial list. Number two, we've got to expand that list. And I don't know if you've noticed out there, but it seems like pretty much anywhere you go, there are people, right? And so, if you're just out there being friendly, talking to folks, I spent the week with Hal Culbertson. He's been over here in Orlando, and I'll tell you what, that guy will talk to anybody. Does not matter. He'll walk up, and guess what? He's walking away with their business card, right? He's not giving his business card out. I don't even think Hal carries business cards because he's a smart networker. He wants to get their information, not just be passing out cards for somebody that's never going to call. And by the way, that's going to happen. Let's get together and do lunch syndrome. Your people call my people and we'll get together. That's kind of a polite way of saying, hey, good luck, right? So we want to get their card and do some follow-up. And so we're getting, as we're out there, we're constantly expanding our list. And I like to do what I call walking and talking out there. And it's really, and if you want to expand your list, it's about asking questions to people, getting in conversation, asking questions of them. Do you live around here? Maybe you meet them at the grocery store. Wow, that looks like a good deal. Where'd you find that? And just getting in conversation. Do you live around here? Wow, how long you lived here? You got kids? What do you do for a living? How's the economy treating you? Boom, that's the question, right? How's the economy treating you? Because most people right now are going to complain. They're going to say, man, it's been rough out there. Hey, you ever thought about doing anything else? I'm working with a group of talented people, entrepreneurs. They found a way to add a significant secondary income stream, how to diversify without jeopardizing their current job. I think you'd be perfect. Would that information be interest to you? Great. Give me your card. I'll send you some information over. Constantly expanding your list is the key. And I'll tell you what, folks, as I look back over my career, some of the very, very best people that I ever sponsored, I didn't know until I did walking and talking. And I need to put that in some context because when I got into this industry, this profession for the first time, I was just out of college. I mean, I was an ex-wrestler. All my friends were gym rats or barflies, right? They weren't really what we were looking for, and I didn't have a lot of credibility. And you may be sitting in that position where you don't have a lot of credibility right now. Guess what? You can recruit people that do. If you're willing to do that. I went out and I recruited a top attorney in the city of Houston. And I'll tell you what, it just lit up an entire group. Why? Because when he picked up the phone, people listened. And he was smart enough to listen to what I had to say. And I was smart enough to put him through a system to just set the bait, right? Just to set the hook. I didn't try and reel him in by myself. I used the system and I used other team members to make that happen, which is what I'm going to encourage you to do also. So number one, you got to make your list, and you want to be constantly expanding that list. Number two is we want to make the invitation. So as we're talking to people on that list, and again, even the cold market situation where you're out there walking and talking, I like to use family, occupation, recreation, money, right? Warm with form. Family, occupation, recreation, and money. It's icebreakers. It's conversational, You're calling somebody up. You hadn't talked to them in a while. Hey, it's John. We haven't talked in a while. Just wanted to connect. It's the holiday season. Happy holidays to you and your family. How's everything going? How's the job going? Great, great. Are the kids, how'd the soccer season end up? Are they playing basketball this winter or hockey? Are they wrestling or what may it be? Really, how's your job been treating you? How's the economy been treating you? Boom. Hey, you know what? That's why I called. You may be interested. I've got something. I'm working with a group of business professionals. They found a way to leverage themselves, add their significant secondary income without jeopardizing their job. They're making really good extra money, and they're having a lot of fun. Do you think that'd be of interest? Now, here's the thing about Warm with Form, folks, is that you got to get to the next step right away, and you got to control yourself right here. Because if somebody's interested, tell me more. Let me say this. Make more money by saying less is the key. Make more by saying less, because if you're not doing that, if you start to tell them everything over the phone, and there's a reason for this, because understand, at the end of the day, what we've got to be able to do is put ourselves in that prospect situation, okay? And what I mean by that is, at the end of the day, they're going to ask themselves one question. If they answer yes, they're going to get started. If they answer no, they're not. And folks, you've got to understand this simple principle. Everybody wants to know, well, when does the duplication process start? Let me tell you when the duplication process starts. It's not when they start looking at the video. It starts that very first phone call, that very first contact that you make with them. Why? Because they're going to remember how you did it. And if you don't do it right, you're dead in the water. You cannot put Humpty Dumpty back together again. That's the reality. So that one question they're going to ask is this: can I do this? They don't care if you can do it. They don't care if I can do it. They're going to ask, can I do this? What's in it for me? Can I do this? If they answer yes to that question, they will get started with us. If they answer no, they won't. It's a simple business, folks. So the less I say, the better, because they're going to remember. If they think they've got to become an expert, you have just dramatically decreased your chances of them ever getting started with you. So, Warm with Form, make that invitation process, get them to say, hey, that's interesting, tell me more about it. Well, tell you what, 5 words, 5 minutes, I got to go, right? I got to get off the phone. So one of the things you want to do is nap them, get off the phone right away, say, hey, I'll send you some information, give me your email address. I've got to run right now, I've only got a minute, so give me your email, I'll send you over some information. When do you think you can look at it? And so here's where we start getting into some of the key questions. I'm going to send it right now. When do you think you'll have an opportunity to look at it? And what you want to do, folks, is you want to set the follow-up right then. So the invitation is set up with the follow-up, at least the first follow-up, the time to follow up, okay? So they say, hey, I'll look at it tonight. Great. Then if I call you in the morning, you will have watched it, yes? Yeah, I'll have watched it by tomorrow. Okay, good. What's the best time to call you, 9 or 10 o'clock? Great. I will call you bright and early, 9 o'clock in the morning, and we'll take it from there. If you like what you see, I want to introduce you to some folks, because I think you're going to connect with a lot of these folks. So I'm already starting to set up my 3-way phone call, right in the very first conversation. I want to connect you with some folks. I think you're going to like what you see, and if you do, I want to connect you with some folks. You're going to be blown away by what they've been able to do in this business. Boom. Get off the phone. So then number 2 then is, here we go, the invitation, part of that. If I send you a link, if I send you a movie, will you watch it? If I will you. If I will you. That is the real key in our business. So write that statement down, because it is absolutely a key statement. If I send you this, will you watch it? Okay, and they're going to say yes or no. If they say yes, great. When can you do it? And now we're going into that whole process of the follow-up, or at least setting the follow-up up, right? So now I'm going to send them the link. And again, what I want to do when we're talking about the duplication process, folks, it really is all about tools and team, tools and team. Okay, tools and team, tools and team. So I want to use the tools, and here's the really cool thing. You've got some brand new tools to start using. So we just cut 2 brand new movies. They're out there right now. You should have got an e-card on them. We've got a brand new recruiting website coming up. You'll see it in the next couple of weeks. It's being built as we speak right now. And folks, it is really a recruiting website. It's, if you look at the Family Vacation Network website that we've got right now, it's good. It has a lot of information on it, and a lot of places for people to get lost in the information that you're trying to recruit. And so we're going to keep that website, tweak it up, but that'll become the corporate website. That's for the people that do want a whole bunch of more information. What you're now going to have is a recruiting website. It's designed to do 2 things. sell product, and sponsor new brand partners. That's it. That's what this website is designed for. It's going to be very, very movie-centric. So when I'm saying you've got 2 movies right now, that's 2 of 5 or 6 brand new ones that are in the process of being developed right now. Number 3 is coming for the recruiting process. We'll have something on vacations. We'll have something on credibility, our mission, with David Siegel and with Mark Waltrip on there. It's going to be a great site to be able to recruit with. So use that. Use the tools that we have. Use FENmovie.com. By the way, we've got a brand new movie loaded up on FEN Movie. You can see one of the movies there. So presentation is use the tools and the team. Tools and team, tools and team. The tools to leverage your time. Again, if we go back to what that prospect is thinking, here's what they're saying. Can I do this? If they can, they're going to get started, right? So if you're sending them out a link, here's what they're saying in their mind. Hey, I can do that. You know, and they go to your, I get one of these websites, great, you know, and then you put them on 3-way phone calls with people in your upline, and it seemed like, you know, Mike was a nice guy, so, you know, he did that call for Joe, I think he'll do it for me, you know, at least he said he would, and so now you're engaging the team, and understand, that team has a financially vested interest in helping you get big. This is the only industry in the world where I want you to get better than me. Right? If I'm out there in corporate America, right, if I make you as good as I am, guess what I've just done? I've created competition. I don't want to do that, right? Now, I get to compete against you. I teach you everything I know. Maybe you add a few more tricks to the bag, and now you've got a better business than I've got. But in this business, if I'm in your upline, that's exactly what I want to do. You know why? Because that's called leverage. That's called time freedom. That's called lifestyle. If you get better than I do and you replace me completely as the messenger and I'm not needed anymore, you'll find me on the beach of Hanalei Bay in Kauai, Hawaii. I'll probably be staying in Princeville, but that's where you'll find me most of the time if I can get you to replace me. Because guess what? I've just set in motion income stream and lifestyle. And so that's what we want to do in this business. We want to help other people get good, get better than we are. That's the whole dream. That is the dream. So, and here's the thing, folks. I've seen this a lot. You know, you get big egos, and they don't want to get out of the way of their own success. Get out of the way of your own success. Help that person get going. Help them teach them everything that you can possibly teach them. Give them a system, and that's how you'll build the lifestyle that you're looking for. So we want to present the business, presentation, and then following up, right? Communication. That's what we've got to do. So our presentation, we're going to follow up with them. What did you like best? You know, when we make that phone call back, we said we're going to call them at 9 o'clock. What did you like best? What caught your eye? Vacationing, making more money. Here's the deal. Never, ever ask them, what did you think? All right, we want to lead this conversation. What do you think opens up a whole can of worms? And, you know, what I really want to get to is what did they like best? What caught their eye? What got them excited? Can they see themselves doing this? So that's my follow-up. And here's the thing, guys. The fortune is in the follow-up. And let me give you my definition of follow-up. It's really simple. Doing what you said you would do when you said you would do it. So if I say, I'll call you tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to call you tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. Now, here's the deal. They may not have listened to it. Let's not beat them up over that, right? They may not have watched the videos or whatever. I think it was John Lennon that said, life's what happens when you make plans, right? So they may not have done it. Here you do. If they hadn't, let's go back to step one. Okay, great. Understand things come up. When do you think you'll be able to watch it? Okay, you're going to watch it tonight. So you want to, is 10 tomorrow better for you or 9 again? Oh, your morning's booked up. How's your afternoon look? 2 o'clock? Great. I'll call you at 2 o'clock. So you just reset it up. The fortune is in the follow-up, and you may have to do this a couple of times, believe it or not. But they will watch the video, and then we go right back through the whole process. So we want to follow up, and then here's where the team comes in. Remember, tools and team, tools and team. So we've got the invitation, the presentation, the conversation now is the 3-way phone call. And I've already set this up. Remember, back in the beginning, I said, take a look at this. If you like what you see, we'll take it to the next level. I want to introduce you to some folks that are having a great time. They're making great money part-time, and they're building a lifestyle that you'll be blown away by. And so I've already introduced that. They know that's coming. So now it's not a surprise to them to get on a 3-way phone call. If we get out there to civilians, right, that have never been in the network marketing business, they may never have been on a 3-way phone call before. We may have to teach them how to do that. So I'm going to call them. I'm going to have my business partner already online with me. And we're going to do a 3-way phone call. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. You just brought in the expert with the briefcase, right? So here's the thing. When I bring somebody on to a three-way phone call, I introduce them and then I be quiet, okay? At that point, the upline or whoever I've introduced to that prospect, they take over. I'm not going to jump in. I'm not going to step on them. I'm not going to ad-lib. I'm not going to say things that I think will make it better. It is now their job to connect with that person, right? It's their job to connect with that person. So I just be quiet. I'm not trying to help out here, very much. And they're going to ask them all kinds of great questions and, what they like best. And they're going to tell them their story about how they got involved in a short period of time. This should take 10 minutes at the most. I mean, this should not be a 1-hour phone conversation. If it is, we got to go back and do something different because your upline does not have time to do a 1-hour phone conversation. And understand this three-way phone call is the third step down the road, right? I mean, we've already introduced it to them. They've already watched the movie. Your upline should never, ever, ever be their first introduction to the movie or to the business, all right? It never. And the reason for that is quite simple. Number one, they don't have time. Number two, so they don't have time is number one. Number two, remember, can I do this? That's what the prospect's asking. So if they get on there and they have to give an hour-long phone presentation, guess what the prospect's thinking? Oh, man, I could never do this. I don't have time to do this, first of all, and I don't think I could learn all this stuff. And so, like I said, get out of your own way, stick to the system, keep it very, very simple, and good things will happen. So we introduce that three-way phone call, and then they're going to ask for participation. Okay, so but here's the thing. They may not be ready to participate. Okay, so you always want to have the next thing lined up to invite them to. Understand, you've heard me say this before. We are not hunters. We're farmers. We're planting seeds. We're providing sunlight. We're giving them water. We're helping them grow. We're bringing them along in this network marketing. It's what makes network marketing different, right? We're not a one-call close type of company. We're a relationship business. That's what we do. We build relationships with people. That's how you build the network. And the richest people in the world look for and build networks, right? And so you really have to have that next thing. So they looked at the movie, right? And they now they've been on a three-way phone call. What's next? If they're not ready to get going yet, what's next for those folks? That's a key question. Okay, so make sure you've already got that lined up. Hey, Thursday night we've got a webinar. You got to jump on there, right? Or hey, Saturday we've got a training. Why don't you come and see how easy it is to do this business and what kind of training we got involved? Or hey, let me send you over some training videos that we've got. You got to have their next step already lined up. Because this is a process of upgrading people. The reason to have an exposure, and it's called an exposure to our business, is to set up another exposure until they're ready, right? Until they wrap their mind around what we're doing. So you always got to have that next step in place. And then you definitely then, every time that take that next step, you want to ask for participation. Ask for participation. Are you ready to get going? What other questions do you got? And I'm not going to go into our 4-call close today because our 4-point close, what I call the consultant close. You can find that in your back office. I've done that training before. But it's a powerful way of moving somebody forward. And just let me say this. It's the only close that I use because I don't believe in closing people into our business. This is about work, and somebody's going to have to pick up the phone. I will close the vacation sale if they just want a vacation, but I'm not going to close them into our business. Why? Because then tomorrow I've got to close them again on working, and the day after that I've got to close them again on working. And quite honestly, guys, there's just not enough hours in the day to put up with that kind of aggravation, right? We're looking for people that are looking motivated. Notice right up front I said, this is a sifting and sorting process, This is not a sales business, believe it or not. Yeah, we sell vacation packages, right? But this is really a business about sifting and sorting. We're looking for people that want a different lifestyle when we're talking about brand partners. So, and again, you see our packages, how they get started, good, better, best. If you've been on our webinars, you know exactly how all that flows. A lot of emphasis put on the Global Traveler Pack right now. They can upgrade to Pearl, and then make sure that when you get that person started, that you set up your 48-hour launch. You want to launch their business. You want to walk them through simple steps on getting started, right? Making their list, teaching them how to invite, a little bit how to invite, making sure they understand the comp plan, and definitely getting their seller travel and their W-9s filled out. Those are key things that happen at the 48-hour business launch. And if I could look at our business right now and say, where's the breakdown happening? I see two things. Number one, most people aren't talking to enough people to build this business effectively, all right? So ramp up the activity and understand that we don't want to, confuse activity with accomplishment, right? We don't want to confuse activity with productivity. Talking to brand new people is productive. That's what we do. Every hour we spend talking to new people, doing three-way phone calls, that's productivity. Cleaning your desk, reorganizing your desk. I'll even be bold enough to say this, and you may not believe it. I see a lot of you show up on our webinars all the time. I see you show up on our training webinars all the time. Without a guest, that's not productive behavior. Get into productivity because, if we're not exposing new people to our business model and upgrading those new people, those brand new brand partners, getting them in the curve and getting them growing right away, we're just spinning our wheels. So the biggest thing is we've got to get our activity going. Number two then is once we get somebody started, let's get them started. Let's get them started correctly. Let's get them out of the gate. Again, our job is not finished. We're not hunters going in for the kill. Hey, they signed up. I got one. Now I'm going to go get the next one. We want to help them succeed, launch their business. It's a key part of our business model. So with that, hey, it is a Saturday morning, holiday season. I know you're out there probably going to do some holiday shopping now. And let me just say this. Thanks for joining me this morning. John Dehart, your Executive Director, Sales, Marketing, Field Development with the Family Vacation Network. Be safe out there during this holiday season. There are a lot of people trying to get that latest and greatest thing for their kid, and they're just not there mentally. They're on a mission, and they don't tend to look both ways when they're in the car. So make sure you're extra safe out there and that you're taking care of yourself and the people around you. Have a great holiday season, and we'll hear everybody on our Tuesday conference call. Thanks for joining me. Have a great Saturday. Bye for now.